Weeks passed. The internet moved on, as it always does. Algorithms shifted, trends faded. But somewhere in the stillness of the felt, Jabu remained. Not chasing likes, not seeking fame, just watching, waiting, because that's what a Boerboel does. There was a moment, not long after break-in, when Tabo sat by the fire, staring into the coals. He wasn't a man of many words, but that night, with Jabu lying beside him, head resting on heavy paws, ears half alert, he spoke. "You saved more than my life, boy. You saved my peace." Jabu didn't wag. He didn't lift his head. But Tabo knew he heard. The kind of hearing that goes beyond sound. The kind of knowing only a creature forged by purpose can possess. But the story didn't end there. You see, legends have a way of waking sleeping giants. And Jabu's story echoed across oceans. From Kenya to Kentucky, breeders started whispering again. "Bring back the original Boerboel," they said. "The real one, the one with war in its bones and love in its heart." And so the world began to remember. They remembered how the Boerboel was never bred for show or play. He was bred to hold the line. Back when lions roamed freely and men built their homes with bare hands, the Boerboel was the last thing standing between family and the wild. Not just muscle, but mind. Not just bark, but bravery. A protector boar of Africa's fiercest soil. And yet, despite the might, despite the myth, Jabu was gentle with Tabo's children. They'd climb on his back like a living mountain, pull his ears, giggle into his fur, and he'd let them, every single time. Because the same dog that could break a man's arm with one bite would lie still for a child's dream. There was a scene caught on camera once. Rain falling like a curtain across the land. A lightning bolt cracked the sky wide open. And there in the downpour was Jabu, standing tall at the edge of the porch, chest heaving, soaked to bone, refusing to step inside. Tabo's wife called to him, but he didn't move. Why? Because Tabo hadn't come home yet. And Jabu, well, he doesn't sleep until every soul he guards is safely behind the door. That clip went viral too. A dog waiting in the storm. And people cried, not because it was cute, but because it was pure. In a world where loyalty is rare and truth is often twisted, here stood a creature who lived only for love. The kind of love that guards. The kind of love that growls. Soon, documentaries followed. Podcasters whispered his name like a secret. Dog trainers debated his power. Is he stronger than a cane corso? More fearless than a Rottweiler? But those who knew, they didn't argue. Because this wasn't about breed comparisons. This was about legacy. A legacy written in the bloodlines of warriors. Dogs that stood watch during famines. Dogs that chased hyenas back into the dark. Dogs that gave everything and asked for nothing but presence. One evening, as the sun poured its final light over the mountains, Tabo stood on the ridge with Jabu beside him. Silence stretched wide like the horizon. And in that golden hush, Tabo whispered, "If the world ends tonight, I'll sleep knowing you were at my side." And maybe that's what makes the Boerboel different. He doesn't just protect your house. He guards your silence. He shields your peace. He watches your soul. And when the world scrolls past him, distracted by trends, lost in filters, he stays. Waiting, watching, loving in that quiet, powerful way only he knows. So the next time someone asks, is the South African Boerboel really the most powerful guard dog on earth? Tell them this. He's not just powerful. He's poetry in muscle. He's thunder with a heartbeat. He is the answer to a prayer you didn't know you were whispering. And his name will never be forgotten.